Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill Book Summary. One of the most common causes of failure is the habit of quitting when one is overtaken by temporary defeat. Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich is a classic self-help book, based on Napoleon Hill interviewing 500 millionaires including Henry Ford and Thomas Edison. He says the formula for riches is first having a burning desire for them, then following a definite plan and having faith that plan will succeed. Thoughts become things, Napoleon Hill's unique story. Over 80 years ago, Napoleon Hill was a journalist working on a story about successful people. One day he interviewed Andrew Carnegie, who was a steel industrialist and one of the wealthiest people in the United States at the time. Carnegie was so impressed by Napoleon Hill that he offered him a commission that would last over 20 years. Carnegie commissioned Napoleon Hill to interview over 500 millionaires to find a formula for success that would be useful to a regular person. Hill ended up interviewing many very famous, rich and successful people including Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, Theodore Roosevelt and more. This book is the result of all that research. Now, some people may laugh and say, who is dumb enough to believe they can sit around thinking and growing rich like this book promises? But the truth is, the only way anybody has gotten rich started with a thought in their head. 80 years ago, a very wealthy steel industrialist named Andrew Carnegie commissioned Napoleon Hill to interview 500 millionaires to find a formula for success. This book is the result of that research, saying we can grow rich starting by thinking differently. A burning desire, the beginning of riches. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desire brings weak results, just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat. The starting point of all riches is a burning desire for them. This is the emotional fuel that drives people to success. Henry Ford's burning desire for success kept his team working on a new engine design for a year when everyone said it was impossible. In the end, Ford's strong desire won. A definite goal, essential for any success. As Napoleon Hill says, riches do not respond to wishes. They only respond to clear and definite goals. To attain riches, you must have a clear direction where you are going. And you must know exactly when you start getting off track from your definite plans, so you can take immediate steps to correct your behavior. Edwin C. Barnes went from being a nobody to Thomas Edison's business partner because he had a very clear goal. 98% of people have vague wishes for money or other things, but no definite goals. Riches do not respond to wishes but only defined articulated plans. Persistence, to overcome inevitable adversity. Persistence is a hallmark in the life story of every successful person. This means continuing in spite of inevitable adversity, bad luck or failure. Learn from the mistake of Uncle Darby, who gave up digging just 3 feet from gold. Fear of criticism, often the biggest obstacle to riches. Napoleon Hill says there are 6 major fears that stop people from attaining riches. They are: the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love of someone, the fear of old age, the fear of death. The fear of criticism, ridicule and what will people think sabotages many people's dreams before they even begin. It is essential to move past this fear through recognizing that every great person faced criticism at one point, even from their own family and friends. The 6 steps for turning desire into riches. Wishing will not bring riches. But desiring riches with a state of mind that becomes an obsession, then planning definite ways and means to acquire riches, and backing those plans with persistence which does not recognize failure, will bring riches. In the book, Napoleon Hill offers a clear 6-step action plan to allow us to turn our desires into riches. Here it is. 1. Decide exactly how much money you want. 2. Decide exactly what you will give in return for this money. 3. Decide an exact date you will get the money by. 4. Create a definite plan, then begin working the plan right away, whether you are ready or not. 5. Write out those first 4 steps on a sheet of paper and 6. Read your written statement aloud, twice daily, once just before retiring at night, and once after rising in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. Write down on a sheet of paper, 1. How much money you want. 2. What you'll do for it. 3. When you'll get it by. 4. Create a definite plan and start working at. 5. Write this all down on paper. And 6. Read the statement aloud twice daily while feeling yourself already in possession of the money. Autosuggestion, the way to reach your subconscious mind. Napoleon Hill says we can reach our subconscious mind through our 5 senses. This means we can have total control over what material reaches our subconscious mind by limiting what our 5 senses are exposed to. And a powerful technique for talking directly to our subconscious minds is called autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is done by going to a quiet place and reading aloud your definite statement about money and plan for getting it. But to really make this work, your words must be infused with faith and emotion. 1. Faith is simply the belief or expectation that your desire will manifest in physical form. 2. Emotion or feeling are absolutely essential. Mixing emotion with your words is what gives them power. Autosuggestion is reading aloud your 6-step statement about money. But for your words to reach your subconscious mind, you must infuse them with strong emotions and faith. Specialized knowledge, when put to use, becomes power. An educated person is someone who knows how to get what they want in life without infringing the rights of others. This is Napoleon Hill's definition, and this is not necessarily someone who's had a lot of schooling or degrees. People are not paid for their knowledge, but what they do with knowledge. In fact, people can even get rich by applying other people's knowledge, like Henry Ford did. It is the organized application of knowledge that transforms it into something powerful. And it is for this reason a university degree does not guarantee a high-paying career if the knowledge gained cannot be practically applied. You won't get paid just for having knowledge. But the right knowledge, organized and applied to solve real-world problems, is what makes people rich. Mastermind groups, how to multiply your specialized knowledge. Andrew Carnegie, the incredibly wealthy steel industrialist who commissioned Napoleon Hill to write this book, worked in a similar way to Henry Ford. Carnegie didn't know anything about the technical manufacturing of steel, and he didn't want to know. Why? Because he had a large pool of experts working for him that he could call upon at will, and they would answer any question he had. He called this his mastermind group. Wealthy steel industrialist Andrew Carnegie didn't know how to make steel, but he surrounded himself with many people who had knowledge he lacked. You should also create a mastermind group of people who will multiply your access to knowledge and experience. Sexual transmutation, the source of all creative energy. The most successful people have learned how to harness sex, because it is the strongest source of action. Rather than engage in unregulated sex habits, which are as destructive as unregulated drinking or eating habits, successful people learn to transfer this energy to higher outlets. This is what Napoleon Hill calls sexual transmutation. Napoleon Hill says it is for this reason most men do not reach real success until the 40s or 50s. Before that age, they waste their sexual energy frivolously. It is also true that love serves as a counterbalance to sexual desire, giving it more control, calmness, and purpose. Sexual desire is the most powerful human drive, but most people waste this energy frivolously through intemperate sex habits. The greatest artists, geniuses, and successful people harness their sex energy, expressing it through higher outlets that nourish mind and soul. Creative imagination, your receiver of inspiration. It's a fact that many of the greatest minds say their best ideas came to them suddenly, through hunches or a flash of inspiration. And infinite intelligence is the source of those flashes, not painstakingly slow rational thinking. There are 7 positive emotions powerful enough to stimulate your creative imagination. 1. The emotion of desire. 2. The emotion of faith. 3. The emotion of love. 4. The emotion of sex. 5. The emotion of enthusiasm. 6. The emotion of romance. 7. The emotion of hope. Many of the greatest people say their ideas came suddenly through a hunch or flash of inspiration. These flashes come from infinite intelligence, the same mysterious power that turns acorns into oak trees. You can become more sensitive to this intelligence by stimulating your creative imagination with strong emotions such as desire, faith, love, and hope. Negative influences, protect yourself against them. There is one thing in your life that you have absolute control over, and that is your state of mind. The 6 fears we talked about before, including the fear of criticism, can be enough to sabotage anyone's chances of getting rich. But there is something even worse than fear, and that is negative influences. Negative influences, including negative people, media, and environments, can make you feel discouraged and hopeless. The best protection against these influences is continuous movement towards your definite purpose. Alibis for failure. Reject the excuses others provide you. People who are not successful always have one thing in common: they can tell you all the reasons why they aren't successful. They have created what they believe are airtight alibis or believable stories to explain away their own lack of achievement. These alibis often sound like this: if only I was younger. If only I wasn't married. If only I had money. If only I had a degree. If only I had connections. If only the economy was better. If only I was born rich. If only I had good health. If only I were lucky. And Napoleon Hill lists 46 more of these excuses in the book. All unsuccessful people create airtight alibis or excuses to explain away their failures. This time would be much better spent analyzing your weaknesses honestly so you can move past them,